Hey everyone, I'm Rushlock, and this is Idle Champions. This is a D&D Forgotten Realms based idle clicker game. It's free to play on Steam. You can find them on Twitter as well, linked down below in the description of the video. This video is going to cover about how to manage your adventures in the game. So once you've left the overworld map and you've actually started an adventure, your goal or your aim is to get into a position or a situation in the adventure where you can permatank the content, still clear mobs, and do so efficiently so that you're acquiring more and more gold. The reason gold is important is it's how you fund for upgrades for your characters. Also, it directly correlates to how much favor you acquire throughout the run. So we currently have 429,000 favor built up on this particular run, and we've built up in the past 647,000. So when next time we reset, what we've acquired on this run will then get added to our current balance, and favor turns into a gold find multiplier, which means every time you go through an adventure on a replay, you'll progress, faster to the point where you reset previously, and because you're acquiring gold faster, you'll be able to push further into the content. We're currently on level 109, which you can see on the right hand side. Every 5 levels you'll fight a boss, so we have the 110 boss coming up. But I wanted to get this map kind of set up and show you guys that we've got a pile of mobs on our tank right now, and with all the animations it's a little hard to see your tank's HP, so if we click here, we can actively in real time see our tank's HP is not moving at all in the slightest, so they're fine. We can tank these mobs and they just keep on coming. And we're just acquiring more and more gold over time. And then for upgrades, down at the bottom you'll see all these green buttons that tell you how much the cost in gold is going to be. From 455 to 456, one level at a time. However, a little tip that I would recommend, or at least a preference that I have, if you hold down the Alt key, it'll change and show how much gold is needed for that character's next upgrade. So instead of just going from 455 to 456, instead it shows you that we'll go from 455 up 10 levels to 465, and the benefit is that her heal will become 300% more effective. Our tank over here will start doing 300% more damage. Obviously on a tank that's not exactly super relevant, but it does tell you in advance what to expect. Our wizard here will gain 200% damage if we upgrade them, and our sorcerer, I believe this is a sorceress? Yeah, sorcerer here will gain 200% damage. So you get a little bit of a sneak peek, it tells you how many levels you're going to jump and all that good stuff. Huge quality of life thing, in my opinion, because clicking one level at a time was definitely monotonous. But again, you want to get in the situation where you're perma-taking the content, you're farming up the gold, keep an eye on your tank's health, and then something to be aware of, if you let the game run overnight, actively, supposedly, this is just random comments I've seen online, hopefully somebody can leave a comment and confirm this for us, but if the game is running actively, you'll earn more gold than if you close it out. There is offline gold generation, like if I close the game out right now, we will continue to still accrue gold, but I believe it's like a 25% of the amount of gold we would acquire by leaving the game up and running. So if you have the option to leave your machine running, go for it. If you want more gold while you sleep and wake up, you can have all new upgrades or maybe do the reset. As with other clicker games that I've seen or idle games that I've seen, we want to get to kind of the rule of doubling. So we currently have 647,000 favor in use, and we've banked on this run another 431,000. A recent patch now tells you what percentage of your current pool that you've reacquired. So ideally I want to get to 100%. But you also have to balance that against how much time you have to play right now versus when your next reset's going to be, and you're just going to go to bed, and get things set up. Like, the setup we have right now is how I would like to leave it overnight. I'd like to let this run while I sleep and then come back in the morning and buy upgrades. However, I know that I'll be playing actively here in a little bit, so I will do a reset. I'll only get 66%, but it's fine because I get to come back to this content probably within, I don't know, a certain number of minutes. I'll get back to the level 100 plus. Because again, remember, the more favor you stack, the faster you can get back to the content you're currently doing. And you can push on and push forward because you'll have more gold. But let's see. You have your DPS tracker here in the corner. Keep an eye on formation. So if I take the bar and swap it with my monk, you see how the red notifier showed up there. That means that we had a slight decrease in DPS. Now, because we couldn't see a number change, we just saw the color change, it was minor, it was minuscule. But if I swap these two characters around, our DPS plunges to about half of what we were doing before. So we swap them back, and you see the number tick back up. but red is a decrease, green is an increase. But again, this is just about adventure management. We've got gold find, favor, DPS we've covered. Another button is the button to be aware of is the complete adventure button. The current mission that we're on is free play, so as long as we get past level 50, we'll get a chest and some favor. We're obviously well beyond that, 109. You can complete your adventure at any time, just confirm the complete button there, and you'll move forward. Obviously, I'm not doing that at the moment because I'm farming up gold and doing this explanation, and just maximizing our earnings in the meantime. Adventure level shows here. You can always compare that to your overall objective. Formation we've talked about, moving guys around. Active versus offline we've talked about with the earn more gold when the game is actively running versus when you have it closed out and it's earning gold while it's not logged in. The pressing alt thing for me is a huge quality of life thing. Bosses, I'm going to show you guys one boss. We'll show you what you do. So let's say we go too far. We get into content we can't quite handle. So we're going to... Most boss waves will have some trash mobs come out first. What I like to do is I like to use the tank paladin here's ult to stun everybody. She'll do one massive attack, stun the entire field, and then I use my AoE abilities to burn things down to the best of my ability. These are on cooldown, so usually anywhere between 1 and 7 minutes in my experience. We're just going to work our way through here and pop all of our ults and get all these going. But you're going to see we're going to clear the trash mobs just fine, but that boss HP is not moving at all. So we might get in this situation where, like, alright, we're in trouble. We're not really going to wear him down. You would think, well, if my tank is tanky enough, we can just win the attrition war. He's taking more damage than our tank is right now, so we'll win eventually, right? However, bosses have a mechanic that every time they swing, their next attack will do double damage. So let's monitor our tank's HP again. You can see right now they're perma-taking just fine, but every attack round for that boss, he's going to do more damage than his previous attack. And so eventually he'll just win the attrition war if all you're doing is perma-tanking and slowly burning him down. Fireball is a important strategic ult. Has a really long cooldown, obviously because of that. But you push back the mobs, which in turn means the boss is not attacking, which means he's not doubling at the moment. It doesn't reset him. It doesn't put him back to his first attack, but it'll buy you a few seconds, just like the stun does for where they're not attacking and therefore doubling their attack power. But we're in a situation where we're not going to feasibly kill the boss before it starts working its way through our team because of his damage. It's like a soft enrage type of a mechanic. So what you would do in that situation is you simply come up here, click the previous level. There's no penalty. Your party will, fall back one zone and start farming again. And that's it. That's how you manage your adventures. Remember to aggressively reset. Anytime you have a chance to double your favor, take it. Within reason. So a good rule of thumb to follow. Basically, when your party stops smashing through map after map after map, and you start slowing down, and you find yourself, well, if I wait 5 more minutes, I can upgrade this ability, and I can probably, move on to the next map or whatever. Go ahead and reset, unless you know that you're going to be logging off or AFKing soon for whether sleep or just leaving the house for work or whatever. Don't reset unless you have the time to get yourself back to where you were and farming properly again. That's the biggest tip. But as always, if you guys have questions, put them in the comments down below. You can ping us on Discord. We have a chat channel set for the game as well. But hope you all enjoy. If you have questions, fire them at us. We'll do our best to help. See you all next time.